Hey guys, so it's here bringing you another video. Welcome to another patch note breakdown, this time for 10.22. And if my energy levels can stay at an okay rate, hopefully I can make this video come out later today. But I'm very tired at the moment. I had the gym earlier, it kind of killed me. We did a bit of a stream. And yeah, my energy levels are very low, but I'll do my best. So if you appreciate that, please do throw a like on the video. Anyway, today is here we go, one last light patch for the books before we switch gears into heavy duty preseason changes, and obviously we will be covering those in more detail in the coming weeks. Kick back, put on some tunes. We don't have that. Feel free to put your own tunes on and have a little bit of a watch. First off, we attacked the Fire Nation and changed some things, not everything, with our favourite fire friends, Annie and Brand. These tweaks should help their skills feel more intuitive, find more flexibility in their roles, and kick their strength up a notch. So that's going to be cool. And then also, they're doing a couple more clarity checks, Mumu, Jinx, Galio, and wrapped it up with some just general balance. Okay, cool. I'm interested in the fire changes. Let's have a little look at this, though. So the actual changes of the patch, and we can kind of see what's going on in overview. So we got buffs of Amumu, Annie, Brand, LeBlanc, Nasa, Sejuani, and Zaya. And we got some nerfs to Karthus, Lulu, Samira, unsurprisingly, and Zed. And the nerfs, by the way, look to be because mainly of skilled and elite play this time. We also obviously have the new champion Seraphine that's coming out. And we have some updated abilities of Ash W, Galio E, and Jinx E as well. But there we go. That's what we're going to be covering today. Again, probably not the most meaty patch because, as they said, they have a whole preseason coming in a couple weeks that they'll be doing a lot of changes in anyway. So Seraphine is coming. I will say, let me know what you think, because it honestly feels that Seraphine launch is not hype at all, and I honestly think it's because of, well, it's a bit controversial maybe to say, but there was a lot of hype around the champion, and when she got unveiled, a lot of people were like, wait, it's Sona. And it seems that since people have made that comparison, the hype for her has kind of died. I don't feel hyped with this champion. Even though I think she's okay, I'm not hyped, and I don't think a lot of people are. So she's out, literally tomorrow or whatever she's coming out. And that does bring a new ultimate skin as well in the game. Which, yeah, we may make a video on her in the coming days, but we'll have a look-see. Again, she might be banned because usually Riot's track record is releasing champions a bit too strong, and Seraphine might not be an exception. So there's that. Amumu. Oh, wow, this is actually... Oh, snap. Okay, this is going to help this champion a lot. So I've always felt Amumu's been a little bit outdated. He'll still kind of get bullied, and he's still not going to be a great high-rating pick because he can just get invaded for free, and there's not really anything he can do. But his ultimate always used to be a root and disarm, but that meant people could use abilities still while they're Amumu ulted. It's now a stun. That's actually quite a big change, to be honest. So instead of a 2-second root and disarm, it's a 2-second stun. That's going to help the mummy quite a lot, I think. I don't think it's going to make him meta, obviously, but if you're already an Amumu player, you've probably got a massive smile on your face right now. So there is that. Annie. So they're making Annie changes. E, her shield, now provides a shield instead of damage reduction. Now, I will be honest, when they did the damage reduction change to Annie a few months ago, whenever they did it, I was a bit confused. Annie had like 20 or 30% damage reduction on her shield, maybe up to 40%. That was kind of crazy for a mid-lane mage. But it's now only a shield, but the big thing is it now can also be cast on ally champions. The shield animation has been updated, the cost and the range has been increased, and shield always applies to Tibbers when he's summoned as well. So you also give Tibbers a shield. So the actual shield itself, so yeah, it used to go up to, by the way, to 29% damage reduction. It's now grant a shield of 40 at rank 1, 240 base at rank 5 with a 0.4 ability power ratio. So if you have 100 ability power, it would be doing an extra 40 shield. As an example, but obviously Annie can get 400 or 500 ability power probably for 3 seconds, and the bonus movement speed buff is applied to the shielded target. So it's a 40 mana cost, so that's gone up in cost, but it's now a 800 range that you can cast it. That's a fairly decent if you wanted to throw it on, your AD carry or whatever you're wanting to protect, or put them in the middle of the fight. It makes them stay alive longer. And then also, we'll cast on an ally if targeted or very close to targeting them. So if you press E but you're technically missing that, you're not officially pressing E on them, you've got a little bit of range of it's going to help you in that way. So there we go. That's a new Annie E. I don't know if it's a buff or a nerf, to be honest, because 29% damage reduction for Annie E in late game. 29% is a lot. Just pure damage reduction. Not many things in League of Legends actually give pure damage reduction. So it's a change. Whether it's a buff or a nerf, I'm not sure. It might, in a weird way, be a slight nerf to Annie as herself, but it's a slight buff to Annie as a team player, because she can give, probably in late game, a 400-500 shield to an AD carry or the bruiser in the middle of the team fight. Obviously, that's going to be quite good. But, yeah, that's Annie. Obviously, I play Annie every now and then, so we will definitely check it out. W on Ashe now increases per rank. Oh, that's interesting. The spread of arrows used to do 9 arrows per W. Whatever, that was just what it was. It's now starting with 7 arrows, so that's technically a nerf to her early game poke, but then a buff to her kind of mid to late game. You obviously max W on Ashe, so by level 9 or whatever, you'll have 10, 11 arrows in your W, so technically a buff. I don't know if that means it's going to go wider in its radius, or is it still going to keep the same radius but just be more powerful? I'm not really sure, but there's that. Brand. So passive explosion damage decreased. Ease blaze spread now always spreads to nearby enemies, and blaze spread radius has been increased. The indicator now displays blaze spread radius, and his R fireball can now bounce back to Brand himself, which obviously that's going to help. That's a massive deal. So Brand, you can see here, Brand was once a mid laner, but has moved to support, mainly because his power just isn't enough in the 1v1 in mid lane. It looks like what they're trying to do is just add a bit more 1v1 power for the champion. So the bigger thing for me, they've got this, which the marked explosion damage is getting slightly nerfed-ish in the early game, but with a little bit better ability scaling, maybe. But they're going to now spread to all nearby enemies. So it used to be, obviously, it only used to spread to enemies that were a blaze target, and it's now spreading to everything, so that's going to just do more generic damage, which is a pretty big deal. But the bigger thing for me, and what we said earlier, the reason why he was a support, not mid, is his 1v1 prowess. If you're a Brand and you do a full combo, and you're ulting somebody and they're right near you, you ult them and the ult just disappears. There's nothing for it to bounce to. Well, now, if someone's standing on top of you, or you're fighting very nearby, if you press R, the R will go to them, bounce back to you as Brand, and then it will bounce to them again. That's going to help his 1v1 a lot. So it goes enemy champions, then onto Brand, and then to any target that it can bounce to. So honestly, I think that's a pretty good change. That will help him in the 1v1 for sure. Again, is it going to make him a mid lane mage again? I'm not convinced. Lack of mobility, his damage isn't crazy impressive, and he just works well in support. He's percentage health damage. Why would you move him away from bot lane? He's not that item dependent, and he works as a support. So I doubt he's going to be around in mid lane much, but some people are definitely going to try it. Maybe we'll even try it. Galio. E now has a minimum dash distance. Oh, okay. So it's now minimum dash distance is 250. So it's just a consistency change for Galio players more than anything else. So there we go. Jinx. E now deals all damage up front. So it used to do a kind of tick damage of explosion. It now deals all of its damage straight away. So just a bit more burst for the champion. So I think that's probably overall better. Karthus, the Q-based damage has been decreased. So this is a nerf. So base damage used to be 50 all the way up to 130. It's a 5 damage nerf on his Q. Nothing major. Probably will more than likely just hurt his early game farming more than anything else. And his early game poke actually isn't too bad if you're really accurate. But Yeah, like, they're just saying he's just too reliable, and that's very true. You know, you play Karthus in mid, or jungle, or some people even top, and you're going to probably do okay. Like, even if you have a bad game, you can still eventually just press R and be useful. Like, Karthus is just very reliable, and they just kind of just toned him down a little bit because of how reliable he is. LeBlanc. E cost decreased, E base damage increased, and E delayed damage increased. So again, I've not seen many LeBlancs, just a couple recently, and that was a bit weird because I've seen a couple of them, and before then, I can't even remember the last time I saw LeBlanc. But they're buffing her E. So the mana cost has gone down, and the damage has gone up. So maybe more LeBlancs in our new future. I don't even know if she's that popular of a champion because, you know, nobody loves just getting one shot in any sense, and that's kind of what LeBlanc can do. Lulu, Q base damage decreased later, so they're just nerfing her mid-game. Well, actually, they're nerfing it from rank 2. So top Lulu has been doing well in skilled play. So yeah, some people are playing top Lulu nowadays, which is a bit bleh. It's probably designed maybe for autofill players mainly. But it's just there to be annoying, you know. You're against a bruiser and Lulu just slows them, pokes them, and then more than likely is duo with a jungler, and the jungler comes top lane, and with the Lulu, they can't get away, the enemy top. So they're just nerfing it a little bit. Nasus, again, a champion you don't really see that much. Our bonus resistances increased, bonus resistances per second removed. So his bonus resistances used to be 15, 35, 55. It's now being a buff. Wow, that's a big buff. At rank 1, Nasus now has 40 bonus MR and armor, up to 70 at rank 3. But the big buff there is his rank 1 all-in, potentially at level 6. That's pretty big. And they're also just removing, like, he's just got flat resistance now, which is overall good. Samira continued, probably going to just see nerf after nerf, and as I said, the problem with releasing champions with what I would literally deem as broken kits is you can nerf the numbers all you like, but it's still going to leave a broken kit. You have to fix the kit. So why does she still have CC in her passive? Like, every single video that I've watched, and there was actually a double lift one earlier today, and I watched that, and he was the first time was playing Samira because he was at Worlds, so there was no point practicing the champion that wasn't in Worlds. So he played it for the first time the other day when he's back in NA, and he was legit laughing, going, why is this champion of CC? It makes no sense. And I said that at launch. It makes no sense. It's stupid. So I can see them removing that. It just depends how stubborn Riot are. They'll keep nerfing the numbers, and they'll nerf the numbers until basically she does no damage, but the kit is still fundamentally broken. Then you'll buff the numbers up again, but the kit is still broken, so then she'll just be overpowered again. You have to fix the kit. So there's that. Sejuani, our base and max damage increased, so it's just a little bit of buff to her ultimate. I like Sejuani. I know a lot of people don't love tank meta, but she's quite fun. She's skill-based somewhat, so we might see more of the cow. Well, the cow, the pig, the boar. There we go. Xayah, base attack growth increased, so she has a 3.3% attack growth of attack speed, and it's now 3.9. So that's considerable, you know, to mid-late game. That would be a more attack speed for Xayah, so that's not too bad. Zed, E-base damage reduced later, so just some nerfs to Zed from rank 2 onwards, actually, with a considerable 20 damage nerf to his E at rank 5, so there you go. That's just a bit of a Zed nerf. Just he's doing a bit too much damage from what they like. Pet range indications. So they're just kind of updating that there's now an indicator of when it's going to snap back to the original caster with Shaco and then Annie. Clash updates are here. We got some earth changes. We got bug fixes again, as I've always said. If you ever see Kai'Sa, Yuumi, if you see a champion you play, please do read. Like, I'm going to read this one. Certain Ziggs skins E, explosive minefield now properly render over impassable terrain. There you go. So that's kind of nice because sometimes the E kind of went into the terrain and you couldn't really see where the mines were. So it is worth seeing changes that they're making to your specific champions. Upcoming skins, all the KDA all out. Obviously, the ultimate Seraphine skin and the new Prestige Kai'Sa, which I believe that's Kai'Sa's second Prestige skin already. They obviously, some of them have chromas, and that is it. A pretty quick patch, nothing mental. As we mentioned, it's just a quick one because all the big changes are going to be coming in 2 weeks. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, do throw a like on the video. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.